This video is sponsored by dry shampoo, copious amounts of caffeine, and concealer because, of course, we have got a lot to get done today, and I'm going to take you along for the ride. Well, hello friends, I'm Mary Beth with At What Cost, where simple living and deep faith go hand in hand. And of course, this video is not actually sponsored by dry shampoo and coffee and concealer, but it should be. We do have quite a few things to get done today. I have to run some donations to some various places. I also need to prepare for our home group Christmas party. Now, if you saw my video for the Mega Motivation collaboration, you know that this season we are packing light. Now, we are going to host our Christmas party. This is a lot of fun. We do this every year, and it has been very life-giving, even though it requires a little bit of prep. The rest of our Christmas season is pretty low-key. So today I've got to restock our Minute to Win It games, and I think I'm going to try and come up with a few more. That went over really well last year, and I think we can add a few others to the mix to kind of shake it up a little. I also need to go to the grocery store and get the ingredients to make a red velvet cake, which I will also take you along for. And there was something, we are also going to do a grazing board, charcuterie board. I don't know, it's that, but with more, and a hot chocolate bar. But even though these things may sound a little complicated, and graham cracker gingerbread houses, yes. They may sound a little complicated, and the to-do list actually sounds like it's getting longer and longer the more that I film this. But I think you'll see that most of this comes together pretty quickly and without a lot of effort. So we've run all of our food errands, and the more I was thinking about it, so the donation things that I have to deliver are actually for our church preschool, and so I'm just going to put them in the back of the car later this evening after I have gone through another real quick pass of kind of my early childhood ed stuff here at the house. Put those in the back of the car, and then I can just take those to church with us on Sunday. So there's no sense in making extra trips. So let's look at what I have got for our party. Brian is smoking a brisket, everyone else is providing sides, but I do want to do a couple of fun things. So we have a hot chocolate bar, and I've gotten a couple of different items for that. I also did some gingerbread houses that we make with graham crackers. I will leave a link to the blog post from Dawn at the Minimal Mom. She is the absolute master at these. And I also have kind of a grazing board. So you've probably heard of a charcuterie board, or, I mean, it's really just like Lunchables for grown-ups, right? So I have a bunch of items for that are salty, sweet, kind of meats, cheeses, some fruits, and I also got all of the things that I need to make my red velvet cake, which we are going to do right now. Now, I am tempted to sit down in the morning and write out my entire plan and make like a 3-page long to-do list, but that oftentimes feels overwhelming. And while I do have kind of a general idea of the things that I need to get done today, I do want to break it up into smaller steps. And so I have been listening to this podcast for several years. It's The Next Right Thing by Emily P. Freeman. And she talks a lot about taking things step by step. So I use kind of that general overview of what I want to get done that day, like getting my donations into the car, getting all of the groceries that we need for this party, making a cake, and tidying up the house. But rather than sitting down and coming up with a to-do list for each one of those events, now that I have all of our groceries, while the cake is baking, I can sit down and come up with my to-dos for the next section of my day. It kind of helps to keep things from feeling overwhelmed. And then if there are things that you don't get done on your list, so to speak, for that day, well, you don't have the pressure of having to check everything off all at once. So the trick with these gingerbread houses out of the graham crackers is, one, to use a serrated knife and to really use a good sawing motion without a ton of pressure, because they will crack. So just kind of a tip along the way from someone who has a lot of experience breaking graham crackers. So I'm gonna get all of these little pieces cut out and then make the actual shell of the graham cracker gingerbread houses. That way, during the party, the kids can just focus on decorating them. And I put all of my stuff together in one place. There's a lot of stuff. So we're gonna get these all cut up. Well, all of my graham cracker gingerbread houses are done. My cake layers have cooled, and so I'm gonna get started on some frosting. And then we have some bookshelves to hang up in the boys' bedroom, and so I'll take you along for that too. But we are really making our way through this day. Well, it's a new day. I did do a little makeup and same hair, same messy bun, same flannel shirt, and my Christmas uniform. I feel like this is pretty much what I wear every day the whole month of December. So it is officially party day. Party day! We're super excited. I have pretty much everything ready to go. I just have to put it all out. And I'm gonna tell you how this came together so quickly. So as I was walking through Sam's Club, I'm looking for the easiest way to get the biggest impact. And I want things to be somewhat cost effective. I've started to realize when you put one of these boards together, just how quickly it can add up. Especially if you're looking for like super high quality ingredients. Like if you're wanting to go to Whole Foods and get all of the specialty cheeses and all the Trader Joe's everything, you can really pay a pretty penny for that. I did splurge on the things that I know people are going to eat. So I found this tray. It's a cheese and fruit tray. It's got strawberries, grapes, and 2 different kinds of cheeses on it. Now, it was a little pricey. It's $25 for this big tray of stuff. But by the time I find a quart of strawberries, which may or may not be in season in the area that you're in, grapes, a big bunch of grapes, and these 2 different types of cheeses, the other cost that I don't always think about is the labor. So for me to take the time to get these big blocks of cheese and cut them up into really nice, pretty cubes of cheese, sometimes it really is easier for me to just spend a little bit extra on something that has already been put together for me. And I know that I can use the leftovers. So everybody loves the strawberries, everybody loves the grapes and the cheese. That's where I spent a bulk of my money. I did buy a little salami kit with a couple of different types of salamis, some prosciutto, a couple of different types of crackers, but again, not the fancy crackers. Like we did chicken and a biscuit and I think Ritz and maybe some Triscuits. So they still are gonna be really enjoyable, but they don't have to break the bank. We don't have to go and get all of the specialty crackers. In fact, don't you just love like a chicken and a biscuit kind of cracker every now and then? And it may be something that you don't necessarily keep in the house all the time. Oh, and I did get a little bit of goat cheese. My husband loves goat cheese. I'm on the fence. I could go either way. Some sweet pickles, some dill pickles, and then these marinated Greek olives. I'm gonna throw some peanut brittle, some peppermint bark, and some butter cookies in there, and probably some tomatoes. I don't know, we'll just see what we have room for. And I had thought about it would be really pretty and in a different color to take some of the kids' halos, peel them, segment them all out, and then kind of arrange them pretty on the platter. And right now I'm gonna work on my hot chocolate bar. So a majority of what I'm using here to kind of corral our hot chocolate station is part of my regular decor. I have this crate here, and it sits on its side with a Polar Express mug and some other like little trinkety things. Look how cute these are. They're little like cutout cookies. I used to have these as ornaments on a tree, but this year I just kind of threw them all into this jar and called it good. And a little snow globe, a little like, you know, just like tchotchkes. So I'm gonna rearrange some of that. And then these little pirouettes, they actually they're completely contained in this container, and I wanted them to kind of stick up a little bit. So I put some parchment paper in the bottom. I just balled up some parchment paper, put it in the bottom so that they stand up a little taller. I'm gonna put these in the crate. I've got my mini marshmallows already in a crate. I put some stuff so that they don't get kind of like dried out. And I already started working on this and was like, oh yeah, you're a YouTuber and you film things. So here we are. Let's keep going with the rest of this. Well, friends, that's pretty much it. a couple of store-bought items, just a little bit of thought, and we have a really fun and festive setup that looks like it was a ton of work, but really actually wasn't all that much work at all. Now, I need to go get ready for our Christmas party. I hope you have a very Merry Christmas, whether you are packing light or packing in all the fun. You can find the link to our latest video up here. YouTube thinks that you should watch this one next. And here is the link to join our Bible study group if you are looking for a little bit more community in your Bible study. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.